As a non-dom, buy an apartment, something small, affordable, but with high quality, and above all, something new that meets current standards, instead of throwing money away on rent in the long term. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a particularly interesting project, so make sure to stay tuned until the end. Hello and welcome. I'm Florian Wilk from CMC in Larnaca, Cyprus. And in today's video, I want to introduce you to a truly fantastic project, specifically in Larnaca, in the Larnaca district. And it's in a place very close to the airport. But without you having to worry about too much airplane noise, don't worry. It's in Pavolia. If you know Cyprus, then this place will definitely ring a bell. A very, very beautiful place, located by the water, by the sea, with all the important facilities you need. It's a project with a total of 10 units and above all, small units, making it affordable. Of course, square meter prices in Cyprus have risen somewhat in recent years, and the trend is clearly continuing. That's always the special thing about an island. We have a very limited space, and as a result, land prices in particular are rising enormously, but so are construction costs in Cyprus. And in that case, it really makes sense to buy a property instead of renting for 5 years or even longer, especially if you might want to claim non-dom status for yourself. Of course, you could be paying 700, 800 or even 1,000 to 1,500 euros per month for an apartment. Spend on rent, or the alternative is to invest in such a project. However, there are hardly any small projects or small units on the island where you don't have to invest 200,000 or 250,000 euros right away. And that's what's special about this project. We have small units, yet a very, very high standard. I'll gladly give you the key information. There are studios and 2-room apartments. So 2-room apartments mean 1+1 apartments, that is a living room with an open kitchen and 1 bedroom. Studio, I think that's clear. It's 1 room, everything in one, so to speak, with a separate bathroom, of course, but the kitchen, living and sleeping area are all together, so it's very, very compact. As is often the case in Asia, where studio apartments are also very, very common, and of course this ensures that I get my unit for a very, very fair price, simply because I only have, for example, 35 square meters. Then you have the advantage that the whole thing is within walking distance to the sea. It's not directly on the sea, but it's just a walk away from the sea. You have a supermarket in the immediate vicinity. You have various restaurants, tavernas, including a really, really great restaurant, but also many international restaurants nearby, some even within walking distance. Also, in the neighboring town of Kiti, you have a wide selection of many different restaurants. Of course, you have pharmacies, gas stations, supermarkets, there's Alpha, Mega, Lidl, and so on. All of them are in the immediate vicinity. Then, very, very important, the building is energy efficient and environmentally friendly because it has thermal insulation and also a 10 kilowatt photovoltaic system. Just the system alone will produce about 15,000 to 16,000 kilowatt hours per year. That's quite a lot, you really have to say. Of course, this ensures that your electricity bills are reduced accordingly. Then there's a special feature here. The building's lifespan is calculated at a minimum of 42 years. In comparison, the Cypriot standard is actually only 27.5 years. If you buy an apartment from a Cypriot developer now, you'll find that they usually specify a lifespan of 27.5 years, which is an average value, and that's obviously not very long. Another advantage is that the airport is actually only 10 minutes away, so it's really in the immediate vicinity. However, the building is not located in the flight path. You can hear a little bit, at least when you're outside, of course not inside, but outside you can hear a little bit when a plane takes off. However, in my opinion, it's not disturbing and you're not in the flight path or anything like that. That means you shouldn't expect any disturbance from aircraft noise or anything similar. And here's a very special feature. You really won't find this anywhere else. I don't think I've ever seen it on the island. There is a communal rooftop terrace. The rooftop terrace is designed so that all owners, all residents, there are 10 units, can use the rooftop terrace together, enjoy the sea view, maybe have a barbecue, things like that. So it's a great chill area, so to speak, for all owners and residents. A really, really great thing. You might know this from other countries in Southeast Asia, but in Cyprus, this is truly something extraordinary, or something like that. Personally, I think it's really, really great. And here you have the advantage that it's being built to Central European standards. That ensures the longevity I mentioned earlier, but of course also the value retention. That's absolutely crucial. If you have an investment that only lasts 27 years, or maybe even 42 or 45 years, that's obviously a huge difference. So here as well, this value retention due to the Central European standard is especially worth highlighting. And in fact, these 10 units are ideal for expats who want to take advantage of the non-dom status, especially if you travel a lot around the world. You want to take advantage of the non-dom benefits in Cyprus, the tax advantages, but you're not on the island all year round. A villa might not be worth it, and you also don't want to spend 800 euros a month on rent for nothing, so to speak, just to use it 60, 70 or 80 days a year. Then this is a really great alternative. Here, you can acquire property of a high standard for a small amount of money. You have your own unit, you benefit from an increase in value, and of course you save on rent. At the same time, if you want, for example, during the high season, especially June, July and August, you can also rent out the apartment or unit at very, very attractive prices. If you want, I actually have contacts in my circle of acquaintances who offer such Airbnb rental services. That is, agencies that rent out your apartment when you're not there, so you can generate ongoing returns as well. And you don't have to worry about anything at all, which is also extremely important. So things like check-in, cleaning, check-out, all the platforms, Airbnb, booking and so on are all completely taken care of for you. But of course, that's just one option. We'll also show a few pictures here. Here you can see the location. It's near Larnaca, in the Larnaca district, not far from the airport and also very close to the sea. You're more or less in the town center, which is very pleasant because you can reach most things on foot. Let's take a look at the kitchen area and the bathroom area as examples, so you can see what to expect. Of course, it has to be said, and this is actually standard in Cyprus, the apartments are delivered without furniture and without air conditioning and kitchen appliances, but they do come with built-in wardrobes and kitchens. That's the usual way properties are handed over in Cyprus, so to speak. But of course, you can also get furniture packages. That's absolutely possible. And if you like, I'd be happy to give you the contact for a wonderful interior designer who can help you set everything up. For such a small unit, you might not even need that, but I think the whole thing is very, very stylish with exposed concrete and glass. So it's really a very modern yet timeless design. Personally, I like it a lot. And yes, here you can actually become a property owner for relatively little money, your own small property, as I said, studios and 1+1s. And if you're interested, if you say, yes, I'd like to get more information, then feel free to contact me. I can reveal that we're now entering the pre-launch phase. That means it's not officially on the market yet. And you actually only have the opportunity to invest here through us, with us. So please feel free to contact me. You can reach me via WhatsApp. You'll find my number below the video, and then you can just send me a message and let me know that you're interested in the project, the apartment project in Pervolia. And then I'll be happy to send you the brochure with all the information, including the technical specifications, of course, the price list and so on, so that you really have all the details. The property is being financed without a bank, which means there is no risk of bankruptcy or anything like that. Everything is being financed in cash, so to speak, which is also a very, very nice situation for the buyer. And currently, just to be clear, the project is at the stage where construction will begin in the next few weeks. That means things will get started very soon with the construction, and then it's common practice in Cyprus, maybe you're familiar with this developer model, that you make a down payment and then with each stage of construction progress, further payments are made step by step. So this also gives you a certain level of security and ensures that you don't have to pay in advance without even seeing what you're getting for your money, but rather with each stage of construction progress, only then, once the progress has been approved by an engineer, only then is the next payment due. So this is also a very, very fair model. And the final payment is always only due upon handover of the keys. So that's also absolutely crucial. But I'm also very happy to send you the payment schedule so you can get a complete picture of the project. And yes, in any case, thank you very much for your interest. I'd be happy if you give me a thumbs up for the video. And of course, you can always contact me anytime if you have any questions. So thank you very much and see you very, very soon. Yours, Florian Wilk.